There's a plant that emerges precisely in the vulnerable spots where our modern urban landscapes begin to falter and degrade. Think about those overlooked corners of civilization. The drainage ditches snaking through industrial zones, the retention ponds pooling stormwater in suburban developments, the roadside canals that collect runoff from highways and parking lots. These are the marginal spaces, the unintended wetlands created by human engineering, where water stagnates and concrete yields to nature's persistence. In these environments, this remarkable plant not only survives but thrives, pushing out new growth at an astonishing rate of up to 4 inches per day. Over a mere 9 months, it can yield an impressive 84 tons of edible biomass per acre, transforming neglected wastelands into bountiful harvests. Across vast swaths of the globe, particularly in Asia, half the world's population incorporates it into their daily diets as a staple vegetable, known by familiar names like Kangkong or water spinach. Yet, in the United States, this same plant bears the ignominious label of federal noxious weed. The mere act of transporting it across state lines for distribution can invite severe penalties, including hefty fines and imprisonment for up to 5 years in a federal facility. This is no minor infraction. It's a deliberate criminalization that underscores a deeper tension between natural abundance and institutional control. This plant doesn't just grow. It colonizes the very failures of our built environment, where stormwater systems overflow during heavy rains, where cracks in pavement allow moisture to seep through. It takes root with effortless vigor. It flourishes in conditions that would wither more delicate crops like lettuce, which demand precise irrigation, fertile soil, and protection from extremes. Lettuce, for instance, wilts under flooding or nutrient-poor water, but this plant revels in it, drawing sustenance from polluted runoff and turning potential ecological hazards into verdant productivity. And therein lies the crux of its prohibition. Its unyielding resilience poses a challenge to controlled, commodified systems of agriculture that dominate the American food landscape. They had to criminalize it, not because it's inherently dangerous, but because it disrupts the status quo, offering food without the need for corporate seeds, chemical inputs, or vast farmlands. The archive of its story doesn't reside in dusty tombs or forgotten scrolls. It lives in collective memory of cultures that have nurtured it for millennia, a testament to human ingenuity and survival. Tracing its origins, evidence of deliberate cultivation in Southeast Asia stretches back over 4,000 years, with archaeological findings suggesting organized farming as early as 2000 BC. Imagine ancient communities along the Mekong Delta or the riverine plains of what is now Vietnam and Cambodia, where seasonal floods enriched the soil and provided ideal habitats for aquatic crops. By the 5th century CE, it had woven itself into fabric of traditional Chinese medicine, documented in herbal texts as a remedy for ailments ranging from digestive issues to inflammation. Herbalists praise its cooling properties, using it to balance the body's internal heat, and it spread across Asia through trade routes and migrations. For thousands of years, this plant has been a cornerstone of agriculture in countries like China, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. It requires minimal intervention, no plowing, no pesticides, just water and sunlight. Farmers in these regions often plant it in flooded fields or along canal banks, harvesting tender shoots repeatedly throughout the growing season. Its adaptability made it a reliable food source in tropical climates, where monsoons could devastate terrestrial crops, but only enhance its growth. But the true testament to its endurance emerges from the annals of conflict and crisis. During the brutal Japanese occupation of Singapore in World War II, from 1942 to 1945, the island's conventional food supply chains crumbled under siege and blockade. Imported rice dwindled, markets emptied, and starvation loomed over the population. In this dire context, water spinach stepped in as a lifeline. It proliferated in bomb craters filled with rainwater, in abandoned ditches, and along disrupted waterways, requiring no seeds or tools, just fragments tossed into wet soil. Locals, drawing on ancestral knowledge, cultivated en masse, turning it into a wartime staple that sustained families through the occupation. Historical accounts from survivors recount how it was boiled into simple soups, stir-fried with whatever scraps were available, or eaten raw to stave off malnutrition. This wasn't mere desperation food scavenged from the wild. It was a cultivated vegetable that bridged the gap when industrialized agriculture failed spectacularly. Post-war, Singapore's government even promoted it in victory gardens to aid recovery. The plant, known scientifically as Ipomoea aquatica, endured where empires faltered, and the world has never erased it from its culinary lexicon. Listen closely to the symphony of names it bears across cultures, each one an echo of regional heritage and daily life. In Mandarin Chinese, it's Kangkong, literally hollow heart vegetable, a nod to its tubular stems that trap air and aid buoyancy. Cantonese speakers call it ong choy, evoking the lush greens of southern China's wetlands. In Thailand, it's phak bung, integral to street food stalls where vendors hawk it fresh from morning markets. Vietnamese refer to it as rau muong, a humble yet beloved ingredient in home kitchens. Filipinos dub it Kangkong, while in Malaysia and Indonesia, it's Kangkong, often featured in bustling night markets. In Tamil-speaking regions of South India and Sri Lanka, it's valal, harvested from paddy fields. One single species, yet it carries dozens of identities, shaped by migration, trade, and adaptation. This linguistic diversity underscores its ubiquity. It's not a rare forager's delight, but a vegetable that nourishes billions routinely. So, why has this global staple become contraband in America? The answer lies in its biological prowess, which borders on the supernatural in terms of invasiveness. According to the Texas Invasive Species Database, it surges forward at 4 inches daily, with stems extending up to 70 feet, blanketing waterways in dense mats. Its biomass output, 84 tons per acre in 9 months, dwarfs many conventional crops. Reproduction is prolific. Each plant scatters 175 to 245 seeds, but that's secondary to its vegetative propagation. Fragments as small as a few inches can root and clone themselves, floating on currents to establish new colonies. The hollow stems enhance flotation, turning every broken piece into a potential invader. Nodes along the stem sprout roots in mere days when submerged, making it a master of opportunistic spread. This is a contained garden problem. It's a systemic infrastructure challenge. In urban settings, it clogs drainage systems, impedes flood control, and turns retention basins into overgrown tangles. Agencies tasked with managing canals, rivers, and stormwater view it as a direct threat, leading to its criminalization as a means of containment. Yet, to understand its value, we must examine what's inside those vibrant greens. Nutritionally, it's a powerhouse in a low-calorie package. A single cup of cooked water spinach delivers just 20 calories but packs 2 grams of protein, making it an efficient energy source. Vitamin A clocks in at 255 micrograms, 28% of the daily recommended value, supporting vision, immune function, and skin health. Vitamin C provides nearly 16 milligrams, 17% DV,